97.7 QLZ's Third String Morning Show.
Third String Morning Show, talking with Taylor of the Pretty Reckless. Taylor, I can only imagine how crazy the life of a rock star is.
It's not as crazy as you would assume, actually. The craziest thing, I think, is the travel.
Okay, well, between the shows, the travel, you're doing all of these press interviews, when do you find time for you?
It can be challenging at times, but I think that, I'm so ingrained in the music that by getting to call music my job, I get to be me all the time, Yeah,
there could be worse ways to pass the time.
Absolutely.
Well, of course, you're on tour right now. You're going to be in our area at the Expo Gardens on May 15th, which is actually moved from the 16th, if anybody's not paying attention. But you guys are going to be there. Simple question, yet a difficult question. Why should people come out to the show?
Well, if you've seen us before, come back, because it's a very developed set now. We have 3 records out, so it makes for a really fun show because it can change every night because we have a repertoire of material. We're playing longer than we've ever played before, so that's really fun. Our set's almost at 2 hours now, so that's cool. If you haven't seen us, it's a really loud, ruckus rock and roll show that just makes for a really fun night.
Now,
come check it out.
Now, with this tour, you talk about being on stage and doing it longer now. Have you felt the effects of that? Maybe you are more trained to do a shorter set, so to speak. Do you feel the differences?
You absolutely do. I think, before it was kind of punch you in the face and leave, and now we have the time to kind of settle and really kind of get ingrained with the audience. In one way, it's actually easier to play longer than it is to play a shorter set. You
can pace yourself out. It's not a sprint. It's whatever the expression is.
It's a long marathon
instead
of a sprint.
Excellent. So how is this tour and whatnot and the bands you're playing with? Is it exciting? Is it reinvigorating to you?
Of course. I mean, we get to play new material, which is always fun. I mean, we're playing with Soundgarden, which is a dream of mine come true. So that's crazy. So absolutely. I mean, we're really looking forward to this tour.
So you're working with Soundgarden, who's obviously rock and roll legends at this point. Do you just kind of sit there in awe, kind of soaking it all in? Do you approach them for any sort of advice? I mean, how's that relationship?
I stay as far away from them as possible, and absolutely sit there in awe and soak it all in.
That's great.
I get to watch a free show every night. It's amazing.
Right? That's the ultimate fan's dream right there. So actually, we've been having a long-running discussion here on the QLZ airwaves about the rock format coming back. There seems to be a little bit of a rock revival. Do you have any thoughts on rock kind of taking its place back in music?
I mean, I've been saying this forever that I think, rock and roll can't die. It's the original art form, the blues. So I think that it definitely took a lull, and I think that it is at a turning point right now, that it is starting to come back in a real way, and hopefully we can be a part of that.
Now, if we can kind of analyze this a little bit, why do you think there was a lull? Do you think the other formats just were better, or what factors do you think that really kind of took rock off the main course that we were on?
I mean, that's a short question with a very long answer that deserves a very complicated response. That takes longer than we have right now. But I think in short, I think we need a renaissance. Music is kind of cyclical, and the '60s was a renaissance of music. The '70s it continued. The '80s rock and roll started to kind of bend towards pop, and then the '90s came in and blew up again and wiped it all clean. And so now I think we need a fresh slate and a new revival. And I think that it's starting to happen.
Another short question with most likely a long answer. What rockers like yourself or others, what do we need to do to have rock be a number one format again?
I think make amazing records. It comes down to it's as simple as that. You have to make really, really great records that everyone's going to want to listen to. I mean, I know our goal as a band is to continue to better ourselves, make as best records as the greatest records we can physically make at that time period, and longevity. I mean, make records that are going to last, and aren't just these fleeting kind of songs that maybe fit in some format, but stop trying to fit in a box. Create your own box.
And probably the longevity going back to that, it's probably great to be able to have a band to stick around, to be able to trust that band. Because I would say probably one of the factors as why rock kind of fell off over the last couple decades, maybe, is that there was so much jumping of music or bands that you would start getting into for one album, and then they were already done.
Yeah, I mean, I think that as a musician, obviously everyone has a different experience, and if that band's not working for you, you have to jump ship and grow. But I do absolutely agree that if you stick with your unit and you grow together, that inevitably you're going to hopefully make something great.
And you're talking about just solid albums. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I mean, like the Immigrant song was just in the new Thor trailer.
Yep.
Led Zeppelin are awesome, and they're never going to go away. They're always going to be great. So I think that's the goal, make great stuff that's going to last forever.
Can't argue that. And everybody knows the Immigrant song, too. Even if you don't know the name or all the lyrics, everybody knows that.
Everyone knows it.
Right.
It's iconic.
Exactly. Absolutely. What did you think of the Thor trailer, by the way?
I'm so excited. I'm so psyched. It looks so awesome.
See, I'm a
huge Marvel fan, so
okay.
I'm super looking forward to that one.
See, I'm the same way, but the Thor movies haven't really impressed me much, but I think I already like the new movie better than the other two, and I've seen only 2 minutes of it.
I agree. It looks like the best one.
Of course, the new Thor movie bit on the dark side. The newest album seems to be a little bit on the darker side. You seem to have some pretty heavy lyrics there. What goes through your mind when you're digging into lyrics like that?
Everything. I think the biggest thing when we're writing is you can't, at least for me, like I try really hard not to put any limitations on myself. Like nothing is off limits. Because I think as soon as you put limits on yourself of I'm not going to write about this or I'm not going to talk about that because it's too personal or it's too dark or it's too deep or it's too whatever, then you're stunting yourself and you're not going to create the best music that you can. So you really try to just open your mind to everything and anything and hope that inspiration strikes you like a lightning bolt.
Is there anything maybe in hindsight that you saw the lyrics that you wrote down or you performed and then you had the realization, the light bulb goes off, wow, I went there?
There's a couple things on this record, yeah. I'm not going to get specific, but when it actually got released, I went, oh, crap, I actually just put that out into the world. Okay. All right, we did that. But it's all metaphoric at the end of the day, too. So, not, even if something sounds so direct, it might be that direct, but there's also a grander, metaphor around it.
Obviously, you're on this tour. You're going to be on this tour for a while. When this tour is done, are you looking to jump on another tour? Are you looking to take a break? You looking to get back in the studio? What's the mindset?
I'm looking to do all those things. No, we're going to continue to tour. The touring schedule, we're still putting it together right now, but lots and lots of shows. We're going to make some more visual content, obviously some new singles. And then, always writing and we're trying to kind of change it a little bit from how we've done it before instead of just doing a grinding 2.5-year touring cycle without creating something new. Because for me, at least, we did that on Going to Hell and I started to kind of lose my mind if you go too long without creating something new. So we're trying to kind of mix it up and get a little balance of everything in there.
No, I was actually going to ask about that. I had in my notes that the Going to Hell tour was over 2 years. I'm lucky to even have a job for 2 years. I can't imagine being on the road doing that for so long.
You started to go a little crazy. We started to lose it a little bit at the end there. But we jumped right into writing and creating new things is a salvation.
That makes a lot of sense. And it helps you live up your name a little bit when you go crazy, the Pretty Reckless. Otherwise, you'd be the Pretty Well-Behaved, and that's no fun.
That is no fun.
Well, again, Taylor Momsen and the Pretty Reckless going to be at the Expo Gardens May 15th. Tickets are available now. Good luck on the tour. Thank you for your time today, and I'm looking forward to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. And please come and hang out. We'll have a beer or something.
Yep, you don't have to ask me twice.
Anything that rocks. 97.7 QLZ.